On Friday night, for the first time in history, a judge single-handedly ordered that a specific drug be taken off the market. The drug is mifepristone, and one of its uses is for medical abortions, which is how most of the abortions in this country occur, with a pill. The judge is a federal district judge from Texas, and his order says two things. First, that the FDA was wrong to approve this drug because it's not safe for women who take it. The counter-argument is that it's been approved for over 20 years and is widely recognized to be safer than Tylenol. It's approved for use in the first 10 weeks of pregnancy and is used in 80 countries. Second, the judge also banned sending any abortion medication through the mail. He did this by reviving something called the Comstock Act, which was passed in 1873 and was designed to use the U.S. mail to impose a broad morality code by censoring what could and couldn't be sent through the mail. It said you couldn't mail anything related to contraception or abortion, but also anything obscene, lewd, lascivious, indecent, filthy, or vile. And it hasn't been enforced since the 1930s. That's when a court ruled it could only be used if someone was specifically intending to mail something for illegal use in an abortion. But this medication is legal and can be used for things other than abortion, like cancer treatment. This particular judge is very well known for his opposition to abortion. He was handpicked by the plaintiffs among all the federal district judges in the country because they knew he was the most likely to rule for them, and he did. If no other court steps in, then this Friday his order goes into effect and will apply to all 50 states, including the ones that have passed laws allowing abortion medication. At least that was the intent of his order. Appeals are underway, and people are asking for a delay in his order to give those appeals a chance to be heard. Also, on the same day last week, there was a ruling from a different judge in a different state that basically came to the opposite conclusion. It protected access to mifepristone in a number of states, which means all of this is probably headed to the Supreme Court and would be their first major abortion case since overturning Roe v. Wade. To the congressional side of this, as a member of Congress, it is very telling that almost none of the anti-abortion members have said anything about this ruling that strikes down abortion medication across the country. Why is that? Well, after Roe was overturned, the message was that this issue was simply being sent back to the states and that if your state wanted to approve it, it could. But what this ruling would mean is that when it comes to this, it doesn't matter what your state wants or how the people there vote. It would be a national ban, which is exactly the type of thing lots of members of Congress said wasn't going to happen after Roe was overturned. There's also concern about precedent here that would have nothing to do with abortion. If this ruling is allowed to stand, it means we're living in a country where the FDA can approve a drug. It can then be used for decades. There can be lots of evidence that it's very safe, and then one judge can have it pulled off the shelves nationwide. That's never been the way this has worked. You're going to see lots of news about this over the next few weeks, and I'll keep you posted.